Hello, Halo fans, and welcome to another episode of the Halo Effect. I am Robert Lockhart, your host. Now let's talk some baseball, shall we? Well, so on this 9-game homestand, they were technically 5-4, so it's not a bad thing, but they did lose 2 of the series. You lose to Houston, you lose to Washington. Washington is still building. They're getting better, but they're still up and coming. So this is the game today they really should have won. They really should have won game 3 of that series, and I don't know. Coming down to Connor Brogdon, young pitcher, not exactly one of their best prospects. He's not even on the top 30 list. I think he's a one-inning guy. You don't want to bring him out for multiple innings. That's obviously devastating, giving up 3 runs. So, what do you do? In this particular case, it's really kind of getting certain guys healthy. Robert Stevenson coming back would be a nice start. They're saying mid-July, something like that. So that would be a good thing. Bringing up some of the other guys from the minors could possibly be a boon. You never really know what you're going to get. Like I said, Connor Brogdon did really well his first inning of work. His second inning of work is kind of where he blew it. So it's kind of keeping him to 1 inning. Let's keep him to 1 inning. If you're going to have to go multiple innings, you're going to want a guy who can go multiple innings, a typical starter. So with that said, here's what I'm seeing from the Angels. What I'm basically seeing is, again, inconsistency. But the biggest thing is clutch situations. In clutch situations, they seem to be having some issues. In this particular case, they had plenty of opportunities to win that game. In extra innings, they had every opportunity to do it, and they blew it. Guys not being selective enough at the plate, guys over-swinging. In clutch situations, that seems to be another issue that I'm seeing. So, again, where are the Halos right now? Well, they're a couple games under 500. No, I'm sorry. Scratch that. They're 1 game under 500. 1 game under 500. That's my mistake. Now, they go out on the road for 3 in Atlanta and 3 in Toronto before coming home for 4 against the Rangers and then 3 against Arizona. It's looking a little tough for the Halos right now because, as poorly as the Braves seem to be doing, they're not a bad team by any stretch. If their bullpen could hold games, that would be a lot more preferable for them. And until they can actually get that, they're going to get pretty devastated. A couple of their offensive pieces in Michael Harris and Ozzie Albies need to start producing a lot more. Olsen needs to start hitting the ball a lot harder and producing more than he is. You can't rely on Ronald Acuna to do everything, fellas. Really, that's what I'm saying. And in that particular situation, I think the Angels can take advantage. With what looks like Tyler Anderson, Yusei Kikuchi, and Jose Soriano on the docket to be facing the Braves, the Angels can actually win that series. Toronto has been performing very, very well, and you really can't take them for granted. So, with that said, again, the Angels' offense needs to come through. The Angels' pitching needs to buckle down and start, mowing guys down the way they can. So, no more 8 runs from Soriano, no more blown saves from Kenley Jansen. That kind of stuff just can't happen. Because when you come back home and face Texas and Arizona, that's not going to be a walk in the park. Texas has been performing a lot better as of late. Their offense is starting to come around. Their pitching has been good. Arizona, Arizona's not what you would call a contender right now, but they compete and they compete well. So it's time to get your stuff together, guys. This is where you guys really need to pull things through, because the second half of the season can always go bad or it can go great. So with that said, let's get our bullpen in order. Let's make sure our starters aren't giving up more than a couple of runs a game. And let's make sure that offense is still firing on all 8 cylinders. So with that said, I'm going to talk to you guys after the road series, and we'll see how they do. Talk to you guys later. Go Halos.